Well, tubers, you always ask how the Case tractor is doing, so let's give you a little update today. And you'd probably like to see how many hours I've put on it since it's been put together. So we'll climb up in here. And there's the hour meter on what's going on with that. And I'll show you a few things that failed. Not a biggie, but let's have a look at them. Now, I have 1,200 hours on this machine now. One of the problems I had was with the alternator. It originally had a Bosch alternator. Bosch, spelled backwards, is expensive. 55 amp was on here originally, but where I hung more lights on and plasma cut out that visor, a little more current is not a bad thing. Now, I remember in my tech manuals, they had a reference wire coming out for the AC signal.
The rain's coming! The rain's coming!
Hey! Renters. Anyway, where was I? Okay, anyway, they had a reference wire for the AC signal for a tachometer. This don't have a cable tach. We'll get back to that in a little bit here. Anyway, now the tachometer works along with the supercharge rate. Actually, if you turn all the lights on, the RPMs drop about 150. So, yeah, I don't need LEDs. These are just fine. The diesel will power them. So, yeah. Now, one other problem I ran into was with the steering cylinders. These were hammered to crap. They even had one that didn't belong on here where you wouldn't get the full sweep. So I'm going to fuel it at the corner fuel station, and I'm turning left the whole time, probably like 40 rounds before I got to the fuel station because of the crowded road. So I decided to purchase some brand new cylinders. They came with the ball joints, whatever. Side A, side B, $500. Not too bad. Probably $1,500 now. But anyway, that's one of the other problems I had with the machine since I put it together. Now, the only other problem I had was with the brake cylinders, which are down under here somewhere, but you take the floor pan off and then you're easily accessing them. The reservoir and all of that's fed through the hydraulics, and there's a brake light switch for each pedal. But anyway, that was the only other issue I had. I should have maybe addressed them when I rebuilt the machine, but not a big deal. Now, the other thing that I ran into, but I addressed it before I painted it, was there was a tear on the hole up there, so I V-notched that in. And when you see stuff like this right here, you know they were using it for perhaps cement busting up. So the machine had a little rough life prior to my ownership. Now, I bought this machine back in 1996 for $6,400. And I have a video of that. You got to see that to appreciate this. I thought these machines were $50,000 new. Well, after I got done with it, I found out they're well over 100. I had no idea on that, but a customer told me about this. He says, 4-wheel drive, extend the hole, probably more than you wanted, yada yada. And yeah, just everything sure worked out nice. That's called a snow bucket there, where it's such bigger in size than a dirt bucket. But here comes a train. I guess we got to stop again. I got to give you a little more trivia of my purchase here. When I bought this, tractors do not have a title, so you really don't know the year of them. It was supposed to be an '86. It was the newest one in that junkyard where I bought it from. Well, I started ordering parts for it, and nothing fit. And there was not a hole in the firewall for a tachometer cable, because it's electronic. Well, come to find out, it's a 91, and I bought it in 96. Well, you know how that works. Usually you get screwed, This one was for my benefit. I thought, awesome. The tin window frames, these were literally tin, like a door skin, and they wrapped around. So I made these all out of 1/8" plate, plasma cut them out, and then I had the glass company do me all stained glass for the windows, which actually ended up being a nice thing. Now in the winter time, I'll always spray a little diesel fuel on the bucket so the snow won't stick in it prior to. And you can actually have 4 or 5 bucket loads in front when it's the wet stuff. Just throw the gas pedal on the carpet and away you go. Don't take long to get everything down to the end. Now these door frames were a little rough too, and I had to fix up the bottom on them, and I always drill and oil up in there so future it don't rust again. Went upstairs in the barn, had an old AM/FM radio. Ooh, high tech there, but it's better than nothing. And then I got my little light up there for interior for at night. Now in that video I posted about this when I put it together in '96, so many questions about metal fatigue and is stuff going to break or fall apart or whatever. The shed was on fire. There were staples laying in the floor, which told me the story jived. There was still 20 gallons of fuel in the tank. The hose didn't even burn off. The shields keep the heat off of all of these things under here. So there has been zero problems in regards to metal fatigue where it was in a fire. The metal did not get annealed because of the fire. It started, went high, stopped right away. There's no problem there. The wildlife, people. The wildlife. There are people who, the motor goes south, they burn them for profit. So the insurance company gives you the money, and the motor was garbage, or the trans was garbage. So anyway, now they're doing oil samples to make sure that these things are not going on. Because I went and looked at a few more machines after I bought this, and we were going to fix them up, and oh my God, beyond evident, burn for profit. So little trivia for you to be aware of. This machine has been so useful here, even other than snow removal. Now, originally when I purchased this, a lot of yard work's been done here. I should throw a picture in of the house when I first got here, the old farmhouse from 1903. The driveway used to come in right next to the house, so that's all been relocated. But all of this has been filled in this area at least a foot. And thanks to that machine, a lot of that got done. Now the other thing is, I have culverts underground everywhere here, and 4-inch pipes to slide your PEX tubing through, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's the culverts from the shop, from the house, the sump pump, everything goes right out to the road, and makes for nice drainage, and hopefully keeps the blacktop looking better too for years to come. Now, because of the fire, them front covers that protect the engine from the heat, they were all warped to crap. So what I did is I pounded the crap out of them, put a little X on them, welded that in, and that way when you pound them back, they kind of stay where you want them to. Now a little trivia too here right away. I went to fuel this thing down the street one time, and I had the 2 top lights on there. Well, it makes the machine look like it's quite a ways down the road. There were some kids, it was a T intersection, and there were some kids in a little Dodge Omni, and they thought it was getting dark, they thought I was further away than I was. Let's put it this way, I really had to get on the brakes. So right after that, what I did was I put these lights down here, so then it gives you more of the dimension when you're going down the road to look like you're much closer than what you would with that. And basically, where I did all new hoses and seals on all the cylinders, polished and cleaned and flushed and whatever needed to be done, there has been zero maintenance on the stuff that could turn into a problem later down the road. And where I put the foam, the camper insulation foam, sticky on one side, put that under everything for the cab was dropped on. No squeaks, no rattles, the way it should be. Now, also, when they build these, they have an integral roll bar right here. Pretty serious structure that makes it way heavy when you go to put it on and off. But as you can see, they got kind of serious too on the engineering here that goes to that to hold it on. A little trivia on the seat here you'll appreciate. The seat for this machine was mega money. They had this sitting on the showroom floor because some guy that had apparently too much money had armrests, probably bought the super fancy seat. But anyway, I can't remember. I think they wanted like $500 for this or something. And I told the salesman, I says, you know, a 5-gallon pail does the same job. Being a wise guy that I am. But I can't remember what I even paid for that. But it's the back folds either way, however you want. It's an air suspension type thingy. It rotates so you can access the whole. It is a heck of a nice seat. But I'm glad I got that instead of the 5-gallon pail. Well, should I give you a quick ride around the block? Well, here's one other gizmo I stuck in here. Parking brake switch. Otherwise, you can take off without knowing the parking brake is on if it's not real tight. Well, that's not a good thing. Let's see if I can give you a tour here. And let me see. And it does work. Yeah, you gotta pump it a bunch. Just kidding. Anyway, we'll release the emergency brake and hit the go button. Now, I never knew what return to dig was. And how you know how far the bucket is you see that little arm up there, that square block, rectangular block? It tells you the angle of the bucket on these. Now, return to dig, I had no idea what any of this stuff was. But now if you go all the way over with the lever, it'll go return to dig and stop. So I just hit the lever, and it kicks the lever back out when it hits that point. Now, I also put the option if I want to shut that off on here. That didn't come that way, but I thought it was a neat little deal. Sometimes I don't want to use that, but when you're plowing snow, that's a very helpful feature to always get you back at the right angle. I just adjusted it last winter, so it's a little more skip. Anyway. Okay, let's do this. Now, I always like tractors. I wish some of these guys with the tractors would show the controls a little more. You got your manual punch pedal, and you got your hand throttle, and this is called a shuttle. This goes forward and reverse. The 4-speed gear selection is done right here. So, we turn the shuttle on. And third and fourth gear are synchro mesh, so you can change them at any time without a grind. Now we're in third gear. I don't know if Andy wants his phone number on the video, so we're going to start out again here. I'm in second gear. First and second gear are no synchro mesh. What that means is if you change them when you're rolling at all, they're going to grind. So we're in second right now. Third and fourth are synchro mesh. So turn the shuttle on here, and away we go. Hammer third. dumpster gets way too full, the backhoe works great for compacting your garbage, so get a little more out of your load. Anyway, we'll go put this bad boy away. And they got a shuttle right here, that switch on the floor, that's for the shuttle too. It's the same thing as pulling it out of gear. Not a big deal. Anyway, we'll go back in a second and I'll back this bad boy up. And we'll try to get anything. And that's it for your case tractor update. Yes, I still have it, and yes, it's working fine. Hey, tubers, thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this one, and want to see you back here again. Bye-bye.